Tracking it makes it easier for you to see your success. And usually when you see your success, you get more success. Because you feel better about it. And your mindset changes.
To myself, what a wonderful world. What a wonderful world.
Good morning, tourists. Welcome back to Timisoara in Romania. This is the first day that I kind of feel well. I've been kind of sick the past 2 days or so. But I came to this restaurant, ordered breakfast. Look what I got. It's pretty cool. That's the perfect way to start the day. All that package was, I think, 19 lei, which is the cost that you guys are going to see right here. On today's program, training discipline, I want to give you guys 5 tips. Let me just enjoy my breakfast and we'll get to run with that afterward. Okay guys, so I ended up working there for the whole morning and part of the afternoon. But now, let's get back to training discipline. I want to give you guys today 5 tips that will really completely change your level of discipline whenever you trade. And those are kind of what I developed with experience. So let me find a quiet place and we'll get to that right away.
What a wonderful world.
Alright, and I just really love this place with the church in the background. That's really cool. Let me give you the first tip on discipline. So guys, the first thing about discipline is, as much as possible, you want to be into similar or recurring environment, which means having some cues. And sometimes we forget that discipline is kind of a habit, where it's a thing that you do repeatedly. But if we don't have the cues, and if we're not in places that are similar, it's tougher to be disciplined. And this is probably the hardest part with travel. Like, you always change environment, always change place. It makes it very hard to be disciplined. So that's the first tip. Tip number 2, it has to do with habits. And we often think we have to be disciplined all the time, but it's not really the case. Discipline happens only like at the very beginning of your training career, like in the very first step, where you have to force yourself to do things. But over time, these things, like, you just don't think about them. They become things you do all the time. And so the key here is that you want to build some habits. And habits, they come with a cue, they come with a routine, and then a reward. And it doesn't change. So the more you do one thing over and over again, it automatically becomes a habit. So instead of thinking it's going to be hard to do something, just think about doing it once and then repeat it again and once again after that. And you'll see over time that you don't think about it. It becomes the same thing over and over again. And you wonder how it got that way. But it's just a habit. That sun was getting hot. Now tip number 3, and this I cannot tell you guys how big of a difference it made for me, but it is simply to ask why. The first thing I heard in trading was that I had to be disciplined, but I didn't know why. I didn't know what it would give me in life. And so when I started to define my why discipline would be good and what would happen after that, and I had to meet traders to understand that, of course. It didn't come naturally. Then I saw that all the time I was undisciplined, I was going against that, and that wasn't good for me at all. The takeaway is that once you get your why, the action will come much more easily. I need to find a coffee shop to plug my laptop where there's a electric plug on the wall, and I didn't see many of those so far. But I cannot work if I don't have a plug now. I'm like at that point, which means no battery on the laptop. So let's see what we can find. I was told in Romania everyone speaks English, but I'm not too sure about that so far. It's not a problem, it's just funny, so you have to do more work to find a place. But anyway, I've given you 3 tips so far on how to build discipline. Tip number 4 is to track it. Now, whenever I want to become better at something, or whenever I want to be disciplined at one thing, I make sure to track it in my journal. Tracking it makes it easier for you to see your success. And usually when you see your success, you get more success. Because you feel better about it. And your mindset changes. That's not bad. I get to this restaurant, the waitress hands me the menu. Look at that. By the way, if you are part of the Desire to Trade Academy, I've put together a discipline tracker. It's already inside the academy for a long time, but it's basically what I used when I couldn't be disciplined at all and I didn't see any way to place the right trade. But I'll go through this like kind of checklist, and usually we know if we're disciplined or not based on what the plan is and what we do. I would write down on this template how disciplined I was out of, let's say, 100, and I would rank myself. Then I would track this for every single trade, and it really helped me to be more disciplined. So tracking it is really, really big. Now I'm in a pizza place. There's like so many around here that you could like track all of them, but yesterday I had some pizza when I was sick. I think that's why I'm on track and energized today probably. It smells so good. Crazy. Alright guys, so I'm back at the Airbnb after this wonderful dinner, and here's one thing I'm kind of disappointed by. So the internet here in Romania is like really crazy fast. The same video it took 14 hours to upload in China, 8 hours in Cambodia, 2 hours in Hong Kong, took about 2 minutes here, which is crazy, fascinating. But the internet here inside the Airbnb is completely shit, and I cannot even do anything. Like, it's not loading and stuff. It's frustrating. So yesterday I got really pissed off and I bought a SIM card at a local store nearby. I got a lot of questions about how to use internet, like what I use and stuff. Up to yesterday I had no internet, only Wi-Fi when I went to coffee shop and stuff. But I bought this SIM card yesterday and I was pretty amazed. Basically it costed me 10 euros, so 10 euros per month for 9 gig of data in Romania. But the cool thing is that this card can be used across the whole Europe without any fees. I think there's a 3 gig limit across Europe, but that can be used pretty much in any country of the European Union, which is pretty cool. And I thought 10 euros was pretty cheap, so I thought I would let you guys know. But that's how I use internet now. Now back to tip number 5 on discipline. This is unusual, but I strongly recommend that you start small. A lot of people talk about discipline like being absolutely perfect on every trade, doing everything right from the beginning to the end. But it's not really how discipline works. You cannot be 100% good at everything. You have to go through some small steps, and that's what's going to build your discipline. If you have trouble being disciplined for a week or a day, start with a trade. Do that perfect trade you were supposed to take and just stick to that, and that's fine. You've checked your thing for the day, you've done the right thing, and then you can move on. But then once you've done that, then challenge yourself to do a day, 3-4 trade, where you're fully disciplined, you execute properly. And once you've done that, then move to like a week or whatever, 3 days, it doesn't matter, until you can get to a high amount. And we often talk about these high standards because we as traders often have high standards. We want to reach the top. But this kind of 95% compliance level that Ventor talks about, it's not something you're going to get on day one. It has to take practice and some effort from your part, which is fine if you don't do it perfectly at the beginning. That's totally right. But that's why tracking is really important, because you get to see how you improve and you get to see where you have to work on more. And that's the beauty of it. Now there's something happening outside for sure. I have to head back because it's pretty cool here, the square, and I've never been there at night yet. Except the day where I arrived, but I was really tired. So we'll take a look outside. Let's go there. Looks like there's a big thing happening here. I don't know what it is though, no clue. I guess it's like a protest, but people seem engaged, so it's not bad.
Așa cum trebuie, prețurile pentru o deplasare de la punctul A.
I educated myself a little bit. Thank you. This is in fact a protest, what I thought, so kind of smart. You can read this whole thing here in Romanian, but yeah, it explains everything. So basically this is a protest for the European Union. That's why people have flag from the European Union. And yeah, not much more than I know. I should maybe read more about it. But what a great way to finish the evening. Thanks guys for watching, I appreciate it, and I'll catch you tomorrow for the next video. Ciao.